And the Cowboys are the favorite to land Belichick next season at -100, which to me, that's shocking. They feel like it's a lock. Here are the top 5 to land Belichick. Cowboys, my Jets, Eagles, Bears, Raiders, and Giants. Colin, I'm going to back up to the Bucky Brooks thing again because that list was surprising.
There's only
Cowboys don't have a top 10 roster. Why the hell is Belichick taking this job to work under Jerry Jones?
Well,
I think it's a horrible
also,
bet.
Belichick would absolutely not get personnel, say, in Dallas, nor would he get it in Philadelphia. Howie Roseman is not going to let Belichick run the draft. So the best job of all those is the Eagles. It's the best roster. It's the best ownership. That's the job. But that's where Bill will have the least amount of influence in personnel. So my take is Philly would be a great fit if Bill could comply with Howie Roseman and the Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie, that, dude, you're not doing personnel. It's what we do. You coach. I think Bill could go to Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts and get to Super Bowls.
But wait, the Jets have a top 10 roster.
The Jets have a 40-year-old quarterback not remotely close to his prime and a wacky owner. And we don't know if his GM's good because he whiffed on a quarterback and a left tackle.
Right, so maybe Bill gets the say there.
Yeah, I don't
And, hey, you want revenge on the Patriots?
No.
Do it in the division.
I don't want Bill to have a say on personnel. He's awful at it.
But you don't have to worry about personnel because the roster's stacked.
No.
All they need is a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, that's all you need. That's like saying in a leaky roof, all we need's a roof.
Yeah. By the way, the Mike McCarthy has the second highest odds to get fired. Number 1 is Robert Saleh, of course. Boy, it would be wild if the Jets and Cowboys both had coaching openings.
Ask yourself this, too. Last year, almost 60 quarterbacks played in the NFL, meaning almost, on average, almost 2 injuries at quarterback per team. So now some teams had more, right? Some teams, like may have been Minnesota, somebody's going to their 3rd and 4th quarterback. And there's a handful of quarterbacks who have not gotten hurt, like Mahomes. Josh Allen hasn't been hurt. But when you think about the team you like, take away 4 starts with your top quarterback with your current team.
Okay.
Do you like your team as much?
Well, my team, the Jets, I believe Tyrod Taylor's their new backup, and I like him. He's a solid backup, gets the job done.
So if Aaron plays 13 games, are they a playoff team?
Yes, because of the schedule.
I think it's much harder in the end than you think.
Well, yes.
So that's the advantage for having a great proven coach. Saleh isn't.
He's not.
That if you go to a backup quarterback with an average coach, those are losses.
Well, wait a minute. They won 7 games last year with like Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle. Really like a joker list.
In the last 2 years, they have not beaten like elite quarterbacks, and that.
They beat Josh Allen in the opener. I know it was fluky and overtime punt return, but blah blah blah.
You tend to grasp onto the outliers with the Jets a lot. That's not who wins the Super Bowl.
Fan is short for. There
Fanatic.
You go. Yes, exactly. Our final story: Team USA. Guess who's getting up some shots? KD. He's got the calf strain. Has not played at all with Team USA. He's now been upgraded to questionable for tomorrow's game against South Sudan at 3 Eastern here on Fox. KD originally suffered the injury in mid-June, and it's, over a month here with the calf strain, Colin. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know that Durant should do this. He's turning 36 in September, okay? He's coming off getting swept.
He should do a Larry Bird on the Dream Team. Be there for support. Minimal minutes, but if you're a Phoenix Suns fan, what are you getting out of this? This team's going to roll to a championship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, probably.
But it's one of those things where I like that he's on the team, but he's like injuries now are part of the data bank. That's what's part of KD's.
They've also got, guys who LeBron's 39, Joel Embiid's always injured. I don't know that I want to. If you bring Durant, that's basically you got 11 guys. You don't have 12 anymore because he may not be able to play. And then now you get one more injury. Anthony Davis, I would Jaylen Brown should keep his cell phone on this weekend, just in case, right? Because if KD's unable to go at this point, Colin, what are we doing? Time to call Jaylen Brown?
They probably wouldn't call him. They'd want size.
Cooper Flagg? Oh, I love me some Cooper Flagg.
You couldn't bring in Cooper Flagg and not Jaylen Brown. Now that would be...
That would look awful for the finals MVP.
Yeah, bad. J-Mac with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
We had Eric Musselman on yesterday. He was so good, USC's coach. He pointed out some stuff, why the international players are taking over the NBA. Also, at the top of the hour, I'm going to go through my predictions, AFC, NFC. They're not my final predictions. It's about 75 to 80% done. But I'll give you my reasons and that coming up at the top of next hour. Also, something that should be, fairly terrifying for most of the NFL. Camps are starting this weekend all over the NFL. So it begins in Los Angeles. It's the Herd, wherever you may be. And however you may be listening. Thanks for making us part of your day. We'll check in on the USA Olympic basketball team. Some news on Bronny James. Bad news for one former NFL legend. Dallas Cowboys in a bit of a bind. I'm not sure they know it yet. Tomorrow's headlines today with J Mac. We've had a really good week. A lot of good guests. A lot of interesting stuff. Eric Musselman was great in the last hour yesterday. College coach, former NBA coach. J Mac. So when Bill Belichick only really interviewed with the Atlanta Falcons, the take was, what? And Belichick's allies around the league all said, you got to be kidding me. Atlanta is the only team that considered him. But I saw something today which the rest of the league is seeing, and this could explain a little bit about the fear of hiring Belichick. So Bucky Brooks works for us. FoxSports.com did an article. It's a great article on the 10 best current rosters in the NFL. And the rosters are, and I pretty much agree, up and down, pretty close. Niners, Eagles, Chiefs, top three. Lions, Texans, Ravens, Dolphins, Jets, Cowboys, Browns. We can argue back and forth. But the Houston Texans at number 5 is absolutely terrible for Bill Belichick. Because that franchise was a joke in the league. And then Nick Caserio, who was the director of personnel in New England, took the job three and a half years ago. And has crushed the draft and crushed free agency. In 3 drafts, Houston now is a top 5 roster from a bottom 3 roster. Joke to playoff team in Houston. They just added a star edge, a star running back, and a star wide receiver in free agency. He has made almost no mistakes, Nick Caserio. He may have missed on an offensive lineman in 3 drafts. That's it. Yet New England's last 6 drafts, of which Caserio was in the building for a few of those, several of those, probably last 7 drafts, have all been putrid for New England. So either Nick Caserio suddenly got brilliant when he got on a plane and flew to Houston, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of those drafts, because he was in New England for years. And the drafts kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse when Caserio was there. So either he got brilliant once he got in an airplane and flew to Houston, or Bill Belichick trumped all of his advice, would not listen, and took over the drafts, which I was told Bill was prone to do in mid-January, early February. I got it from here. Because New England's draft, and Caserio was part of many of those, were awful. Now he goes to Houston, and they're all great. I mean, there's an argument outside of maybe Green Bay. Who drafts better the last 3 years than Houston? Who's done a better job in free agency than Houston? And they had bad ownership. New England had great ownership. They had no momentum. New England had all the momentum in the world. This is an indictment on Belichick. He didn't get very few interviews because he can't coach. But as he is aged, stubborn, rigid, only wants to coach certain people, and he craves power. This is what a Popovich craves later years. A Belichick craves. A Tony La Russa craves. The older coaches, they've got the legacy. They've got a ring or 2 or 6, and they got the money. So if everybody's wondering, why can't Bill get the job? It's not about the teams. It's about Bill's unwillingness to work with others. Everybody knows he's a great coach. Best defensive coach of all time. That's not the question. So everybody's blaming the teams and the owners of the teams that pass on him. It's not about that. It's about Bill's potential unwillingness to just coach, and that is it.